In today's world, to land on any job, a portfolio is important. In order to build your portfolio, we need a website. You can create a website without writing a single line of code in Framer. So in this video, we are going to create a portfolio website. You can get the remix link of this portfolio website from the link in the description. Without making a much delay, let's get into the video on how to build this portfolio website. So let's start with creating the navigation bar. So I'm going to use Figma file. So this is the navigation bar with the logo and the links. So let's see how we are going to make this. Before starting the project, I have already created the text styles, link styles and the color styles. If you wish to create the text style, just click on here, and from this text style, you can select the needed styles. There is a paragraph, heading, heading 2, heading 3, etc. Okay, so let me go back to the layers, and coming to the desktop, let me change the width to 1440, and here we are going to create the navigation bar. So as of now, I'm going to give the desktop color to black, and later on I will remove the black color to the white color. Okay, so I have selected this desktop, and I'm going to the color. Let me choose it as black as of now. Let me make the color to white. Okay, so here I'm going to create a navigation bar. So for that, I'm creating a frame. So let me name this frame to navbar, and let me take out this color, and here I'm going to create a logo. Here I'm going to create a logo and 2 links. So for that, I'm choosing the keyboard key as T. Let me add a name. You can't able to see this, it's because of its color. So let me change the style of it. Let it be the logo. Okay. Actually, I need the content to be in a caps, in a dash. Okay. And let me bring it here, and here I'm going to create a link. So for that, I'm creating another frame. Let me name it as link wrap, and again let me take out this color, and inside it I'm going to create 2 links. So let me copy this one and paste it inside this link wrap, and now I need to make this link wrap as tag. So I'm clicking on this layout. Okay, and coming to this will be the link, and let me change the content to about, and also the style has to be changed. That will be the link. Okay, so I have changed this one, and again I need another link, so I'm duplicating it. And next is work. So let me change this to work. Okay, so that we have created the logo and the link, and before that we need to make this navbar to stack. So I'm selecting this navbar and going to layout, and I'm just making it as stack. Now I need the logo to be here and the links to be here. So for that, the distribution should be in space between. So I'm choosing it as space between. And coming to the link wrap, the width and height should be changed. So let me give the width to fit, and the height to fit. And also I need to give the necessary padding value instead of the fixed height. So let me make the height to fit, and also the width to be 1200. So that we have created the navigation bar. Next, we are going to create the So let me go to the Figma file. So this is the hero section. On the left side, we have an image, and on the right side we have a name, and also a small description, and also one button. And behind this there is a background image, so we need to add that too. Let me go back to our project. Now let me add another frame. We should be below the navigation, and let me name it as hero section. Okay, now let me take out this color, and inside it we need to add an BG, that is a background image. As I have already said, here we have a background image, so we need to add that one. So I'm going back to the project. Here I'm again creating another frame, which will be act as an overlay. So for this overlay I'm going to add the image. So I'm going to the fill and I'm going to choose the image. So we have added the image. I feel like we need to reduce opacity, so let me decrease the opacity to 0.5. Okay, so before that the hero section should be in a stack, so let me make this hero section to be in a stack. And also for this overlay, the type of this overlay should be in absolute, so let me change the type to absolute, and let me pin it to the left and to the top, and make the width of it to 100% and height of it to 100%. Okay, so that we have created the overlay of it. Now we are going to add a container where it holds the image and other content. Okay, so for that I'm again creating another frame which will be act as a container. This container should not be inside this overlay, so I'm just bringing it at the top of it. Let me name it as container. Let me bring it at the top. In order to not to be disturbed, let me make this overlay in the lock state. Okay, and coming to the container, let me make the width to fill and the max width to 1300. Okay, let me take out this color. After adding the content inside this container, let's make the width to fit content. Okay, so as of now let it be like this, and now let me add the image inside it. So again I'm using the frame. Let me create the frame inside it, and before that I'm going to the container. Let me make this layout to be in a stack. Okay, so this frame will be act as the image, and here I'm going to add the image. Okay, by choosing this choose image, we can add the image. So that I have added the image here with the position of the absolute. Okay, now we are going to add the content beside this image. So for that let me add the frame, which will be the content wrap. Let me bring this content wrap beneath this image, and I'm choosing this container, and let me change the distribution to the end, because we have already created this image as in an absolute position, and also we have pinned the position. And for the content, if I make the distribution to be in the center, the content will be here. Actually we need the content to be in the end, so we need to change the distribution of this container to the end. Okay, so for that I'm choosing this container and I make the distribution to be in the end. So can you able to see it? And because of changing the distribution to be in the end, it have changed this position. Okay, inside this content wrap we are going to add the content. So let me go to the Figma page. So that we can able to see here we have the name, a small description, and also a button. So coming to this, the color is in a linear gradient, so that we need to add the linear gradient also. So let me go back to the project. So I'm going to select this text, and inside this content wrap let me paste it. Okay, and before that we need to make this content wrap to be in a stack, so let me make it a stack. And for this let me make it to title. Okay, and here we need to change the content, so I'm going to the Figma file and I'm choosing this text, and let me change this text. And for the style I'm going to change it as heading 1. So for this it has the linear gradient, so we need to change it as a linear gradient. Okay, I'm going to the project. For the color let me give the linear gradient effect. So by giving the by giving the zero opacity on its either end and with the center to be in the 100%, I have made the linear effect of this. Okay, now we need to add a short description beneath it. So let me go to the Figma file. So here we have a small description. So let me duplicate this title itself. Let me make it as description. So inside it we need to give the description. Before that, let me change the text style. So I'm going to the styles. Let me choose the paragraph regular, and we need to change the description. So I'm going to the Figma file. Let me choose this description. Let me copy it and going to this project with the selection of this description. Let me change the content. So now we have to adjust the position of this. So let me go to the content wrap. Let me make it as a relative, because we have already used the absolute position. If we make this width to fill, let me show you, it will occupy the entire screen. This is not the case. We need to make it as a 50% of its width. So that I'm going to choose it as a relative, and let me make the width to 50%. Okay, and also let me make the height of it to fit content. And coming to this description, it has the width of a fit. So let me make this to fill. So based on the parent, it will be filled according to it. So that we have made the title and also description. Next, we need to add a small button beneath it. Okay, let me go to the Figma file. So this will be the button. So it's act as a link, right? So for that, I'm just going to copy this about link, and I'm going to this content wrap, and let me paste. So this will be the link, and let me change this content of this link to get in touch, so that we have changed the text. We need to make the alignment of all those to be in the left. So let me make the alignment to be in the left. So that we have created this hero section also. We need to make the desktop height to be in a fit content. So I'm going to the desktop. Let me make the height to fit content. Okay, fine. Let me go to the Figma file to analyze the next section. So the next section will be the about section. Which describes about this particular persons with something like a title, a description, and also a small link. So let's see how we are going to make that. Let me go back to the project. Here we need to add an about section. So for that, I'm choosing the frame. So let me create the frame beneath this hero section. Let me bring it beneath this hero section. Okay, let me name it as about section, and also let me make the layout to be in a stack. Okay, also for the width, let me make it as fill. Let the height be in a fixed position as of now, and later on let me make it as a fit content. Okay, and for this, let me choose the color to be in a black. Okay, now I'm going back to this hero section, and let me give the color to be in a black. I forgot to give that. Here we need to create another frame which holds the content of it. Okay, so let me create the frame which will be act as a container. Okay, let me name it as container, and with the max width of 850. Okay, and let me make the width to fill, and after adding the content, let's change the height of it to fit content. Okay, and for this, let me take out this fill color, and now let me go to the Figma file. So here we have a title, a description. So as of now, let me add a title. So I'm going to the project. Let me choose this title. I'm copying it and pasting inside this container. And before that, let me make this container to be in a stack. So I'm choosing this container. I'm going to the layout, and I'm making it as stack. And coming to the title, let me change the text style of it. So I'm going to the style. Let me choose the heading 2. So we have changed the text styles of it, and we need to change the content. So I will go to the Figma file and copy the text and paste the content inside it. So let me copy this and let me change the content. So we have changed the content, and the width is in fit content, so we need to make the width to be in a fill. So let me change it to fill, and beneath it we are going to add a description. So again, let me choose this description. I'm copying it, and let me paste it inside this container. And now let me go to the Figma file and copy the text. So I'm going to the Figma, and let me just copy this one, going back to the project, and let me change the content. So now let me choose up with the container, and let me change the height of it to be in a fit content. Okay, and the same follow-ups for this about section. Let me go back and let me change the height to fit content. So the section height is fitted based on the content inside it. We need to give the appropriate spacing at the top and the bottom, something like this. So I have selected with the about section and going to the padding. Let's give the top value to be in 140 and bottom to be in a 140. Now we need to add a link beneath this description. So we have completed the above section. So let us create an next section. So for that, I'm going to the Figma file to check up with the. The next is the project section, which showcases that the projects that has been done. Where all this project will be moving in this direction, and coming to this one, the project will be moving in this direction. In center we have a text as build with me. This will be act as a button. Okay, it's something like a CTA. So let's see how we are gonna make this. So I'm going to this project, and let me create a frame. Let me bring it below this about section. Let me make it as project section, and for this let me give the color to be in a black. Okay, and make the width to fill. Now inside it we are going to create a frame which holds up on all the project that has been done. Okay, so for that I'm creating a frame which will be something like this. Okay, and let me take out this color, and before that I'm going to this project section and make this as stack. And coming to this frame, let me make the name to ticker wrap, because we are going to add a ticker inside this wrap, and we will be adding all the image inside the sticker, because we have planned that it should be moved from left to right and also to the right to left. Okay, so for that I have created the ticker wrap. Now let's add a ticker inside the sticker wrap. So I'm going inside this insert. Let me search for ticker, and let me bring it inside. And by default the width and height will be 400 and 200. We need to make based on this parent. So let me make let me go to the width and make it as fill, and for the height let me make it as fill. Now we need to insert a screenshot inside this sticker. So I have already included the images in this canvas. So I'm going to insert all those images inside the sticker. So for instance, I'm going to add only this first 3 images inside the sticker, and later on I'm going to copy then another sticker and make the remaining 3 images inside the sticker. So for instance, let me add these 3 images inside the sticker. In order to make that, I'm going to click and drag like this. And coming to the gap, let me give the gap to 40. And I'm going to the clipping. Let me make the width to be in the 100%. And I'm going to the opacity. Let me make the opacity to 0.3 so that it should matches something like this. Okay, so we have created the first part of the ticker. We need to make a second part. So for that, I'm going to duplicate it. And we need to change the content inside the sticker. Okay, and before that, let me go to the project section and make the height of it to be in a fit content. So I have selected this project section and going to the height, let me make it as fit content. Okay, and with this project section, we need to give the gap also. By default, the gap will be in a 10. We have already give the gap inside the sticker to be in a 40, right? So here too, we need to give the gap to be in a 40 in order to sustain the uniformity. Okay, now let me select the second ticker. Let me take out all these projects, remove all, and by clicking on it, let me select the other images. Okay, now we need to set the directions of these two tickers. Let me select the first ticker. Let the direction be like this, and coming to the second ticker, let me change the direction to be to the right. Okay, let me check how it looks. Yes, this is what I have meant. And now let me go to the Figma file to see the design. Here we have a text that is with the will with me with the linear gradient line at the top and the bottom. So let me do that. Let me go to the project. Let me add a frame. Here the position is relative. We need to make the position to be in an absolute so that we can bring the text as something like this. Okay, let me take out this fill color. So inside this we need to add the text, right? So for that, let me choose this one. Let me copy this and I'm going to this text wrap. Let me paste and let me choose this text wrap and make it as tag. Then going to this title, and here I need to change the text styles of it, and we need to change the content. Now pin it to the left, let it be 0 and make the relative to be 100. Okay, and make it as fit. Now to make the linear gradient line over this text, let me create a frame. You should be above this one. That should be above this title. Let me name it as line, and also let me give the width to fill, and let the height be 1. And for the fill, I'm going to choose a linear gradient, and let me change the direction, and let me add another, and it should be in a white. And for this, it should be in a white with opacity to be 0. The same follows here. The opacity should be 0. Okay, let me check. Yes, this is what I meant. And let me again duplicate this and let me bring it below this title. Now we need to give the appropriate spacing between the line and the text. So let me choose up with the text wrap and let me give the gap of it to be in 45. Okay, let me check how it looks. Yes, it's looking fine. So that we have created a project section, and let me check up with the design. Here we have a linear gradient effect for this text, so let me change that too. Let me add a linear gradient for this, so let me choose up with the color. Let me go to the linear gradient. Let me change the direction. Let me add another one. It will be the white, and for that let me decrease for this. Okay, and let me increase something like this. The same here. Okay, so we have made the project section also. Let's check what will be the next section in the Figma file. So the next section is the area of expertise section with the title and small description, and with the area of expertise, that is a web design, web development, and SEO. So whenever I hover over the text, a corresponding image should be displayed. Okay, so let's see how we're going to make that. So I'm going to this project. Let me add a frame, and for the color, let me change the color to be in a black and make the width to be in fill. And later on, let's change the height of it to fit content, and let me name it as expertise section. Now let's make the layer to be in stack. Okay, now inside this expertise section, we need to add a content and a small description at the top. Okay, so for that, let me add a frame. This will be the content of wrap, and it makes the layer to be in a stack, and let's give the width of it to be in a fill. And for the color, let me take out this color. Now inside this, we need to add a title. So let me choose up this one and copy this, and go into the content wrap, let me paste. Now we need to change the content of this text. So I'm going to the Figma file. Let me copy this and let me replace it with this one. And now we need to add a description also. So let me choose up with this description. I'm going to the content wrap and let me paste. And coming to the content wrap, let me change the direction to be in a vertical, so that we made the title and the description also. And now with the selection of this content wrap, we need to change the height to be in a fit content. The same follows for the expertise section. Let me change the height to be in a fit content. We need to give the appropriate padding value at the top and the bottom. So with the selection of this expertise section, I'm going to the padding. Let me give the top value to be in a 140 and bottom value to be in 140. So that we have created the content wrap. Next, we need to create the expertise wrap, which should be beneath this content wrap. So for that, let me add a frame which should be inside this. Let me rename it as expertise wrap and make the layer to be in a stack. And we need to change the direction of it. So I'm selecting with expertise section and make the direction to be in a vertical. Okay. Now let me select this expertise wrap and take out this fill color. We need to give a gap between this title and expertise wrap. So the selection of this expertise section, let me give the gap to be in 80. Now inside this expertise wrap, we're going to add the expertise. Let us check with the Figma file. So here we are going to add the web design, web development, and SEO along with the linear gradient line below it. So now let's go to this project. Let me add a frame. Before that, let me bring this expertise wrap width to be fill. The same follow-ups for the newly created frame. Let me make it as fill and take out this color. Let me rename this one as expertise wrap. Okay. Now inside it, we need to add the text. Okay. So let me select this one, copy, and let me paste it here. And make this expertise wrap the layout to be in stack. And coming to the design, it doesn't have any linear gradient. So let me take out this linear gradient effect and let me make it as fill. And make the alignment to be in the center, and make the height to be in fit content, and let's change the content of it. It be web design. Okay, now we need to give the linear gradient line below the web design. So I'm going here and let me copy the line from here, and let's paste inside this expertise wrap. Okay, and we need to give the appropriate gap between this text and the line. So for that, let me give the gap to me in 60. Okay, so it seems fine, and let me go to the design. Here we have another one, that is the web development and SEO, but the design seems to be so similar, so it's better to create the component and replace it with the text. Okay, so let me go back. So for this expertise wrap, let me create the component. So for that, create component. So this will be the component. Here we need to change only the text of it. So for that, I'm going to give a variable name. So with the selection of this web design, there is the title. I'm going to the content, and let me create the variable as plain text. Let me keep this as a title itself. Okay, let me go to the home, and let me duplicate it for twice, and let me change the direction to be in vertical. And also we need to give the gap, between this. We have already given the gap to 60, so for the similarity, I'm going to give the gap as 60 itself. It's because of the fixed height, so let me change the height to be in fit content. Okay, now it's time to change the content. So with the selection of the second one, let me change it as web development, and for the third one, it will be SEO. Okay, so whenever I hover over this, the image should be displayed, and also whenever I move this cursor, the image should also be moved. Okay, so for that, I feel to create the custom cursor. So let me show you how to create that. So outside the desktop, I'm creating a frame with the height of, and with the width and height of 300 and 300. Okay, with a radius of 20. This will be act as cursor. In order to use this custom cursor, we need to change this as a component. Okay, so let me create a component. Let it be the cursor. So this will be the custom cursor. We are going to create a 3 variant of it. One for the web design, one for the web development, and SEO. Let me create it first. So let me rename it as web design, and coming to here, let me change the image. So the first variant has been created. Let me create the another variant that will be for web development. Let me go here, let me change the image. The image has been changed, and again let me create another variant, and let me rename it as SEO, and for this let me change the image. So we have created the 3 variants for this custom cursor. So let me go back to the home, and we need to set a cursor for each of this expertise. Okay, with the selection of this web design, I'm going to the cursor. Let me choose with custom cursor, and let me choose the component as cursor, and with the variant of web design, and also the cursor should be replaced. Let me add the transition also. Okay, and let me choose up with the second one and go to the cursor, custom cursor, and choose up with the component. Let me change the variant to web development with the transition. For the third one, I'm going to the cursor, custom cursor. Let me choose up with the component with the cursor to be replaced along with the transition. Okay, let me show you. So whenever I hover, it has been changed. here we can see there is a jerk. Even we can remove that. It's because of we have given the gap. So let me take out this gap to 0 and let me go to the component. And for the padding that is at the top, let me give it as 60. Okay. Yes, we get the gap also. Let me check up with this. Now it's working seamlessly. So it's looking great. So the next section is the selected works. With the 3 works, let us analyze the first one. Here we have a tag, a title, a small description, and along with the image. Okay, let's see how we're gonna make that. Let me go back to the project. Now let me add a frame that is below the expertise section. Let me name it as work section and make the width to fill. Now change the color to black. Okay, we have changed the color. And coming to the Figma design, we have the same design of the content wrap. So let me copy this one, copy, and let me paste inside this work section. And now let me select with this work section and make the layout to be in a stack. And coming to the content wrap, let me make the width to be in fill. Okay. Now we need to change the content inside it. Now let's make the work section height to be in fit. And coming to the padding, let me give the top and bottom value to be in 140 pixel. Now we need to provide another frame below this content wrap in order to showcase other works. So let me add a frame which should be below the content wrap and make the work section direction to be in vertical and with the gap to be in 80. Okay, for this frame let me change the name to work wrap, and for the width let me give it as 1300, and for the height 800, and for the radius let me give it as 20. Let me take out this color. So now inside this work wrap, we need to add a title, description, and a tag. Let me show you in the design. Here we have a tag, a title, and a description. Okay, so let me add those things. So for that, let me choose up this one itself, that is a content wrap. So let me copy it and let me paste inside this work wrap. And it's because of we haven't set it as a stack, so I'm selecting this work wrap. So I have selected this work wrap and let me make the layout to be in stack. And for this content wrap, let me make the width to be in fill. Okay, and now let's change the textiles of it. So I'm selecting this and I'm changing the styles. Okay, and we need to change the content. And now we need to change the content. Here we need to provide the smaller width. So let me change it to be in a relative with a percent of 65. It will be fine, I hope. Okay, and for the gap, let me give the gap to be 24. Okay, and at the top we need to give a tag. So let me create a frame at the top, and it will be acting as tag, and let me provide it as stack. Inside it I'm going to add a title. So let me select this one itself, go back, and inside the tag I'm pasting it, and I'm going to change the content to design. And for the style, let me change the style. Okay, and coming to the style and coming to the stack, let me make it as fit and fit. Now for the tag, let me go to the padding, and for the top and bottom let me give it as 3, and for the right and left 20, and 20. And let me take out this color, and for the radius that will be 50, and for the color it will be white, and inside this one let me take out this one. Okay, and for the color let me make it as black. So that we have made a setup, that is the content wrap. Now we need to add the image here. Okay, so the selection of the work wrap itself, I'm going to the fill, and for the choose image, let me choose an image and insert it inside this. So we have add the image, but in the design we have an overlay, so we need to add that too. So for this, let me create a frame where it will be acting as overlay, and let me take out this color. The position should not be in relative, we need to change it to absolute. In order to make it as an overlay, we should be below the text. Okay, make the width to relative and height to relative, make it as 100. And coming to the pinning of the overlay, we make it as 0. The same follow-ups at the top, 0 and 0. Okay, we have pinned, and we need to change the color. So I have given the color. Let me make the opacity to 50%. Okay, we can't able to see the content also. It's because of the z-index value of this overlay. So let me select this overlay and make the z-index to 0. Okay, now it's looking fine, and let me lock this overlay. Okay, now coming to this description, let me change the color to white. Okay, so that we have created the work wrap, we need to create then 2 more work wrap. Let me show you in the design. We have 2 more work wrap, but it follows the same design, so it's better to create the component and replace it with a title and description and image. Okay, so let me create a component for this work wrap. Create component, and let me create a variable. This will be the tag, so this will be the tag. So I'm going to the content and creating the variable. It will act as a tag. Okay, and for this will be the title. Okay, title, and for this content, and finally we need to change the image also. So fill, create image. Okay, so that we made a setup with the creation of the variable. So I'm going back, let me duplicate it for twice, and let me change the image text of it. So with the selection of work wrap, I'm going here, let me change the tag to be in development, and let me change the title as well, and also the image. Let's do the same for the third one. We have created the 3 work wrap. Let me put it inside another wrap. So for that let me select all the work wrap, and let me add a stack and rename it as full wrap. Okay, and let me give the gap to 80. So what I have planned is, whenever I scroll, the card should be overlapped one above the other. We can achieve this with an option of sticky. Let's see how we're gonna make that. In order to make the sticky works, we need to set all the parents overflow to be invisible. So let me make that first. So I'm selecting this full wrap. We may make the overflow to be visible, and for the other parent, that will be the work section, make the overflow to be visible, and the next one is desktop, overflow is visible. Okay, now it's time to add the work wrap position to be in sticky. So I'm selecting the first one. Let me make the type to be in sticky. Next, the second one, sticky. So for the third one, it won't be in sticky, it will be in a relative because it have to be move on. So only the first two card will be stick to the screen, and the third one will not be sticking to the screen. It will just move on. Okay, let us check up. Now let's check. It's working fine, but we can't able to see the third card. I think it's because of again the z index value problem. So I'm selecting the third one. Let me add the z index to be in 2. Okay, now let's check. Yes, it's working fine. Now let's check the next section. So I'm going to the design. So this one will be the testimonial section. We have a title and 4 people. So whenever I hover over the image, a testimonial, that is the review of them, will be displayed. Okay, so I'm going to the project again. Now beneath this one, let me add another frame. It should be below the work section, and let me rename it as testimonial section and give the layout to be in stack. Let me give the color to be in black. Okay, for the width, it should be in fill. Okay, let me add a container which should be inside the testimonial section. Let me add the container with fill, and for the max width to be in 1200, and let me take out this color. Let me go to the design. So here we need to add the title along with the linear gradient. So I have added the title, and below it we need to add the images. Okay, so let us add that image. So for that, let me add a frame. So inside this, let me add a frame which will be the review. So this will be act as a review image. Actually the same design follow-ups for all the 4, so it's better to create a component. Let me show you in the design. Actually there is a 4 images. So whenever I hover over, a testimonial will be displayed. So it's more or less all the images are in the same designs, so I think it's better to create with the component. So let me select this one and let me create a component that will be the review. Okay, let me take out this fill color and let me name it as hover. So this will be the hover variant, and again inside it I'm going to create another frame which will be inside this hover, and let me name it as image. And for the width, it will be relative. Okay, here let me give the image. So that I have given the image of it. Now inside it I'm going to add a text which consists of the review. Here I have added the text along with an icon. So what I have planned is whenever I hover over this image, this image should be in a blur state. So I think it's better to give the background color for this text wrap. So I'm selecting this text and going to the styles. Let me add a beige blur with 3. Okay, so that we have given the beige blur alongside the opacity of this image should also be reduced. So let me make it as 0.5. Okay, this will be act as the hover state. Let me add the variant for the normal. So coming to the normal, let me increase the opacity, and for the text, let me make the beige blur to 0. And coming to this text, it should go down. So whenever I hover over, the text should crawl from bottom to the top. Okay, so in order to make that, I need to change this text wrap to be in absolute. Okay, and now coming to this text, let me bring it down and let me make the opacity to be in 0. Now coming to this text, I need to create the variable that will be review. So we have created a variable. So whenever I'm using this component, I can able to change the review of it. Okay, now we need to create the interaction between these two. So for that, I'm selecting this. So for that, I'm selecting this normal, going to the interaction, new transition. So whenever mouse enter, it should go to the hover state. And coming to the hover, new transition, whenever the mouse leave, it should go to the normal. So let me check. It's working perfectly fine. Now coming to this, let me change it to normal. Now we need to add the another one. So we have added the another one. We need to change the image, but we forget to create a variable for the image. So I'm going back. Let me create the image variable. Now let me change the image. Now let's check with the design. Here both the image should goes to its extreme end. So let me make the distribution of this review wrap to be in end, and also let me give the gap to be in 280. So that it seems fine. And again we need to duplicate it, that is the review wrap. And here both the image will be in the start. So let me make the distribution to be in the start. So that we have created this one. And also we need to make the gap between these two review wraps. So again I'm creating a stack. Let it make it as review full wrap. And for this let me make the gap to be in 60. And let me change the image also. So that we have made the basic setup. Let me check up with the design. So coming to here, this title is overlapping this image. So let's make that too also. So I'm selecting this title. We need to make this position to be in absolute instead of relative. So let me make it to absolute and make it something like this. It's not viewing up, it's because of the overflow problem. So I'm choosing this container, make the overflow to be invisible. Okay, now it's looking fine. So now it's looking fine. So we have completed the testimonial section also. So now let's check up with what is the next section. So finally there is a footer section which has the title, a link, and at the bottom we have a logo and a bunch of social media icons and also a copyright. Okay, let's see how we're gonna make this. So for this, let me create another frame which is beneath this testimonial section. This name will be footer section, and let me put it inside this desktop. Okay, and the color will be white. So here we need to add this title and also the link, and let me make the width to fill. And here we need to add the title. Before that, let me add a container. So for that, I'm creating a frame which will act as a container, and let's make it as 1200. Let me take out this color. It need to be in absolute, so the photo section will be in stack, and this frame will be the container, and inside it we are going to add a title. So let me choose up with this one, that is this content wrap. I'm copying it and pasting inside this container, Okay, I'm going up with this title. Let me change the title styles to be heading too big, and let me change the color also. And I need to change the text. Before that, let me adjust the alignment. and let us change the title. And coming to here, I need to give the link. So for that, I'm choosing this one. Let me copy and let me take out this one, that is the description, and let me paste it here. Okay, and for this let me change the style and also the color, so that we have changed this one also. That is the content wrap. Let me go to the design, and here we have a logo, a bunch of social media icons, a copyright. So let's create that one. So I'm going to this navbar. Let me copy this one and going inside this container. Let me paste. So it's because of the direction issue. So I'm going to the container and make the direction to be in vertical and also the height to be fit. Now coming to this navbar, let me choose up with this logo and let me change the color to black. Okay, and then we have a link wrap. Let me change this to social link wrap, and inside it we are going to add an icons, that is this instagram fb linkedin icons. Okay, so instead of this link we are going to add the icon. So in order to add the icon, I'm going to use the pause per icon. So I'm going to the insert, let me add pause per icon, which should be inside here, and let me take out this link and also this link, and the size of this icon will be 20 and 20. And coming to here, let me change the color to black, and for the name, instagram logo. Okay, and for this let me add another stack, which should be above this icon. Let me name it as social. And now let me duplicate it for thrice, and we need to change the name, that will be facebook. And here let me change the logo to facebook. Let me change the other icons also. We have added the social media icons, and now we need to write a copyright. So let me create that one too, so that we have created the copyright also. And let me give the appropriate gap between this content wrap and as navigation. So let me give the gap to 60. And coming to this whole footer section, let me make it as fit content. Okay, and coming to the padding, let me give the value to the top to 140 and bottom to 40, so that we have created the footer section also. Now what I have filled is, let's give a radius here and here. So for that I'm selecting with this testimonial section and going to the radius. Let me give the bottom right and left to be in 100 and 100. But here we can't able to see that clearly. It's because of we have given this desktop color to be in black. So let me change it to white so that you can able to see that. Okay, now another problem arises. It's because the navbar is in the type of relative. So let me make it to absolute. Because it have to be, it's overlapping this background image, so that's why I have given it as an absolute version. Even you can give it as a relative with a background color of black, but here this navbar should be overlapping this background image, that is this hero section. So that's why I have given it as absolute version. And let us preview it and we'll see how it looks. It's looking great. Good. Good. It's working great. We have created this portfolio website. Now we need to give the appropriate link for this. So let's say how we're going to make that.
So for this about, whenever I click on this about, it should take me to this about section. So for that, I need to specify the name for this about section, that is something like an ID. So I am selecting this about section and going to the scroll section. Let me name it as about. Okay. And for this work, whenever I click on this work, it should take me to the work section. That is this one, right? So I'm going to the scroll section. Let me give the name as work. Okay. So now let me select this about. I'm going to the link. Let me click on this link and make the page to home, and the section will be about and not a new tab, and the scroll should be in smooth. So the link will be, I have already created this link style. So let me show you. I have given the color a transition in hover effect, and there is no any current effect with the decoration. Okay. Coming to the work, the same follow-ups. I'm clicking on this link, page home. The section is work, and it should scroll smooth. The link will be this one. Okay. Let's preview how it works. I'm clicking on this, it take me to the about, and I'm clicking on this work, it take me to the work. I got it. Next one is get in touch. So for this, when I click on this get in touch, it should take me to the mail. Okay. So for that, I'm selecting this one. I'm going to the link, and let me give it as mail to some of the mail address. And for the link, it will be the link, and it should take me to the new tab. Okay, so that we have made the change for this. The same follow-ups for here too. The link that will be mailed to abc@gmail.com. The link will be this one only. The new tab is enabled. And for this one, whenever I hover, it should scale up. So for that, I'm going to this effect, hover, and the scaling will be 1.1. Okay. And for this too also, I need to give the link. So I'm going to the link. That will be mail to abc.com. It should take me to the new tab. Okay. So that we have given this one. And also you can give the link for this web design, web development, and SEO, the same as like a mail or any other thing. And coming to the selected works, here also you can give the link that's leading to another page, something like a detailed page of this project. As of now, I'm going to give this home page itself. Coming to here, you can't able to see any of the link. So it's better to go inside this component, and coming to here, you can see the link, and let me create the a variable as link. So we have created the link. Let me go back, and coming to this link, you can specify whatever link you need, a pages or any URL. I'm giving it as home. The same follows for other, and there is no need for the review. And coming to this one, and again I'm creating a link with a style, and let me change the style to link to, and it should take me to the new tab. Okay. And for this one, I'm going to the link. It should take me to the home. Let me change the link. And for this social media icon, instead of this passport icon, I'm selecting this wrap and going to the link. And here you can specify the link of the corresponding social medias. So as like this, you need to specify for the Facebook, LinkedIn, and Dribble. So whatever the link you have, you can provide it here. And next one is copyright, there is no need of it. So that we have set up all the links of this website. Let me check here. It's going. I'm clicking, it's coming to the home page. I'm clicking here. Yes, it's working great. So that we have created the footer section along with the links. Now let's make this website as a responsive. So for that, I'm going to create the breakpoints for the tablet and phone. So in order to create the tablet breakpoint, I'm clicking on this plus icon and I'm creating it as tablet. So the tablet breakpoint has been created. So coming to all of the section, I need to make it as responsive. So coming to this navbar, instead of fixed width, I'm going to give it as relative. That will be 100%. And coming to the home section, we need to make the image to be at the top and this content to be at the bottom. Now what I have planned is, instead of making this image as an absolute position, I'm going to make it as relative now. And coming to the content wrap, let me make it as absolute and make the width to 100% and pin it to the right. Okay, now bring it to the bottom. Let me give it as 536. And for this image, let me make the relative to be in 100%, and also let me adjust the height also. Okay, we can't able to see the content, so for that I'm going to this container. Let me make the overflow to be visible, and also the hero section overflow visible. Okay, let me increase this a little bit. Okay, fine. And here now we need to make everything to be in the center, so I'm selecting with title. Let me make the alignment to be in the center. The same follow-ups for the description, and for the whole thing, I'll make the alignment to be in the center. Okay, and also coming to this content wrap, let me give the padding to the right and left to be in 30 and 30. So that we have made the changes to the tablet. Let me come up with the about section. And for this about section, let me give the padding for the right and left to be in 30 and 30. And coming to this project section, let me give the width of this title to be in fill and make the alignment. Okay, so that we have made the necessary changes for this text wrap. And next will be this expertise section. Let me change the padding to 100 and 100, with the padding to 30 and 30. And for the selected work, let me change the padding to 100 and 100. And coming to this work wrap, let me make it as fill. Okay, the same follow up here, fill and fill. Okay, I'm selecting this work section. Let me give the padding to be in 30 and 30. And for this review section, let me make the gap to 60. The same here, 60. And next is footer. Let me give the content wrap. Let me select the container, make it as fill. And for the navbar, let me make it as fill. Okay, and for the top, we give the padding value to 100. So that we have made the necessary changes for the tablet. Next is mobile. Let me select the mobile. Coming to this navbar, let me change the direction. It will be fine. And let me give the padding to 20. So that I have adjusted the hero section. And next is about section. Let me give the padding to be in 80, 20 and 20. And next one is the project section. It's looking fine for me. And next one is expertise section. Let me change the gap to 40 and padding to 80, 20, 80 and 20. Okay, it's looking fine. And next is Work section, again for this, let me change the gap to 40, padding 80, 20, 80, and 20. Let me give a gap of this all the work wrap to be in 40. And here you can able to see there is a more gap. So what I am thinking is, let me create a variant for this component. So I am going inside it. So this will be the desktop, and let me create another variant for the tablet, and the width will be 810, and let me give the width of this content wrap to be in 85. It will be fine. And for the next variant is mobile, let me change as mobile. This will be the mobile. Let me change the width of it to 390. Okay, it's looking good. Let me go back to the home, and next is review. Here I have forget to give the text style of this review, so let me select this one. Let me change it to extra big, and let me give the linear. Okay, and for this, let's make it as 0. Okay, fine. Now coming to this review, let me change the padding to 80 and 80. Now I need to change the direction of this review wrap. Let me change the direction. The same follow-ups. I'm changing the direction. Okay, it's looking good. We can't find this review section, so it's because of the overflow hidden. So let me make it as visible. And coming to this review, let me adjust the position. Okay, so that we have created this review section also, that is testimonial section also. Coming to this radius, let me change the radius to 50 and 50. And finally the footer, let me make the padding to 80, and the bottom will be 0. And coming to this navbar, let me change the direction to be in the center, and let me adjust a gap, and also let me change the padding, so that we have completed the responsiveness for this portfolio website. We have created the tablet breakpoint and the phone breakpoint. I hope you have really enjoyed this video and learned how to build this portfolio website in Framer. If you really enjoyed it, make sure to like this video. If you want more content on the Framer, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And finally, share it with your fellow designers.